Hey there, so we are going to do a little bit of butchering today. So this morning I got super lucky and I got this wonderful spruce grouse. Looks a little bit bedraggled because when I got it, it rolled down an embankment and almost into the river, so it's a little bit wet and a little bit sandy, so you have to be a little bit more careful than I normally would. But some people have never cleaned a grouse, and so this is a quick tutorial on how to clean a grouse. So there's lots of different ways. Some people will step on the wings and kind of pull the legs and pull the whole bird out, and that's definitely one way to do it. This is how I do it. And so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have a nice little sharp knife, and I'm going to split the breast skin and feathers open to reveal the breast meat inside. Okay, so you can see this is a spruce grouse, and this is looks like a this year's grouse, so it's not huge. It's a smaller size grouse, but you can see that nice beautiful breast meat right there. And we're going to start with the breast meat first, so get the feathers off. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find that breastbone, and that breastbone was right down here in the middle. And you're going to want to line your knife up right along next to that breastbone and just gently make a long slice along that breastbone. Okay, so once you make the initial slice, you're going to want to kind of pull that meat back a little bit as you're cutting. Try to getting as close to the breastbone as possible so that you get the most amount of meat all off in one piece. So if you can see this. Right here. So you can see the breastbone is right here, and you can see the breast meat is kind of getting pulled back along the edges. And right now is September in Alaska, and so the spruce grouse taste absolutely amazing. They taste just like steak because they haven't gone into their winter diet of just pure spruce needles, which then they get a little bit stronger tasting, and some people don't like the taste of them, especially like right after about December or so. But right now they are the best eating that they're gonna be. And so this is a nice grouse breast. You can see that beautiful good meat right there. And what we normally do is, our favorite way to eat this is just to dice it up and fry it with onions and mushrooms and have like grouse fajitas. So that is my favorite way to do that. Okay, so now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to see if I can get the camera angle here better so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, same thing. You're going to go ahead and run your knife down along the breastbone on this side as well, and pull that breast meat back. Try to get it all off one nice big piece. My knife needs to be sharpened where this would be done. Okay, so here we go. We got another really great grouse breast piece right here. And so then the other good meat on the grouse is the leg meat. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of pull these feathers back to expose the hind legs. Well, the legs. They don't have front legs. That'd be weird. Okay. And then we're just going to go ahead and pop these out at the hip joint. Okay, so I'm going to take the extra feathers that keep wanting to stick to your hands, get all those off, and now you've got a great little grouse drumsticks. Okay, so take those drumsticks off. And if you're in a survival situation, the next thing you should do is take all of the feathers off, keep all the skin on, and go ahead and boil the rest of this grouse carcass down into a soup so that you can get all the nutrients from the skin and the bones and everything. because we're not in a survival situation at the moment, I actually am going to give this carcass to our 18-year-old cat, because grouse is her absolute favorite of all meats. Doesn't matter if it's fish or anything else. If she smells grouse, she just goes crazy. And she owes her longevity, I think, to all of the great grouse meat that she's gotten over the years. So we just give her the rest of this carcass and let her enjoy herself. Now, because this has been a bountiful last couple of days, I am going to also be showing you how to butcher some pike. So my son and I and my husband, we all went kayak fishing yesterday, and we got 2 really nice size pike. And he did decide, my son decided that his was the bigger of the 2, so I will give him credit for that, but only by a couple inches. So there's more than one way to butcher a pike, but this is how we do it, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to take the head off. Ooh, they're so slippery. Okay, so head's going to come off. And the next step is, with any fish, same thing. You're going to go ahead and find the anus vent right there, and you're going to make a slice up the belly. Okay, and inside you have the entrails. So you're going to kind of grab, oh, this is a female pike. You can see her egg row right here, her egg casings. So we're going to toss the, oh, you know what? This will be kind of fun. Do you want to see what a pike has in his belly? What has the pike been eating? Well, the pike has been eating other pike. So that's a small pike that's in there. And then this looks like a stickleback right here. So that's what that pike was eating. Pike can eat huge things, including baby ducks, and even muskrats. They've been known to eat muskrats, they eat mice, all kinds of stuff. So what I'm going to do now is, there's this bloodline here, and I'm going to go ahead and slice down the bloodline. There's a little membrane in there that you need to open up, and in here is the bloodline. So I'm going to go ahead and make some slices on the bloodline. You want to get all this stuff out of here so it doesn't make your fish go bad. This guy is slippery. Okay, and then I just run my fingernails down it. You can get a spoon or something else if you prefer, but fingernails do the trick. As long as you don't have fake nails, then I think that wouldn't work so good. Get most of that out of there. And again, if we're in a survival situation, you would want to eat those eggs, but I am not a huge fan of pike eggs, so I'm going to leave them this time so you see a nice clean cavity. And of course we'll give that a rinse before we are finally done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep this pike for canning, because what I like to do with pike, so pike, a lot of people don't like them because they got a lot of scales, they're really slimy, they've got a ton of bones, and it can be tricky trying to fillet. There's some pretty snazzy ways to fillet them around the bones, but a lot of people have a hard time, including myself, filleting around the bones. So what I do is I actually make a brine, the same brine that I brine our salmon with, and I brine the pike in the brine for about 3 hours, and then I smoke them in the smoker for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Actually, you are gonna slip. I'm gonna put you right on the picnic table. Get that tail off. So then I can them. So once you've canned your pike, the bones are just soft. You can eat the bones and all in there, and you just peel off the skin when you're getting ready to process it. And I make it just like I would salmon, so like a sandwich spread like you would tuna, right? You put mayonnaise, pickles, or onions in there, and you can make a really nice sandwich spread. And then I just cut my pike to pint size, so I know about how big my pint jars are going to be. And so now you've got this nice, beautiful pike meat right here that can go right into the canning jars once they're done getting brined and smoked. And then you can them just like you would salmon, and you have them for the winter time, and they are great. They're great in chowders. They're great as a sandwich spread. You can use them. I use them as salmon pasta salad. I'll use half pike, and nobody can tell the difference. It tastes amazing. So getting some beautiful grouse and some beautiful pike right before winter is a huge blessing to get this last little bit of hunting and fishing in before it's getting too cold to do a lot of this. And so Alaska's bounty.